and he just stepped on it and he hit me. And when he did, the tire went right over my hip, right up my chest, across the side of my chest and across this arm. Shane, I gotta go to the hospital. I was like, what did you do? He doesn't know how to love correctly. He's a monster. Thought I could fix him. And the more I tried to fix him, I lost so much of myself.
Good evening once again. Tonight, a Niagara County woman is speaking directly from her hospital bed days after she says her ex-husband ran her over.
Now, this woman is being treated in the hospital for serious injuries, and the suspect remains on the loose. We want to warn you, some of the details of this story are graphic.
7 Eyewitness News reporter Hannah Bueller leads us off with a story you will only see on 7.
And all I could think about was, if he would have got my head or something, my kids would have my family, but they wouldn't have their mother.
Courtney Hescox lays in her hospital bed in excruciating pain as she recalls the horrific events that unfolded Friday morning. Niagara County Sheriff's deputies say it was here on River Road in Wheatfield where her ex-husband, 40-year-old Shane Hescox, ran her over twice with his pickup truck and took off.
And he just stepped on it and he hit me. And when he did, I rolled around the side of the vehicle and I was like falling, but I like rolled and I grabbed the antenna and that didn't last long.
She says Hescox then ran her over again.
He got out of his truck, he yanked me up. He said, "You need to get the F out of here. You're gonna wake up the neighbors," because I was screaming when he picked me up. It sounded like popcorn or Rice Krispie treats.
That sound was Courtney's broken bones. Covered in blood, alone and unable to see, she dialed the last call on her phone, her best friend Jennifer.
You could see the tire mark across her chest, the blood from her nose, her mouth. She was just crying. That's when I immediately called 911.
Courtney was rushed to the hospital. She has 11 broken ribs, a partially collapsed lung, fractures in both of her arms and both of her legs, gashes on her head, and cuts on her hands and lips. Deputies say Hescox is on the run. He has outstanding warrants for his arrest. Investigators recovered his truck yesterday in Rochester, but not him. Courtney says she's sharing her story to get the word out. Shane Hescox is a danger to others.
Shane is dangerous. He needs to be caught.
There's a part of Shane that, my kids can ride a bike because of him. My kids can swim because of him. My kids know how to fish because of him. I think the good things that he was taught in life, he put out there. But he doesn't know how to love correctly. And when he drinks and does whatever he is on right now, he's a monster.
Again, this is a picture of Shane Hescox. He is 40 years old. Niagara County Sheriff's deputies tell me he is wanted on several warrants. He was last seen last night in Rochester, where police tell me they recovered his car. If you know where he is, you are to call 911 immediately. And if you or someone you know is struggling with domestic violence, there is help out there 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. For 24 hours assistance, you can call the Family Justice Center. The number is 862-HELP. We're live in the newsroom tonight. Hannah Bueller, 7 Eyewitness News.
Such powerful words. She was so brave to come forward. Thank you, Hannah. Next tonight, the tragic fire that claimed the life of a Buffalo matriarch. 24 hours after her Buffalo home went up in flames, family and friends are remembering the mother of 10 and what she meant to her whole community. A grieving sister tells 7 Eyewitness News reporter Nikki Dementri this was God's plan.
96 years old. She would have been 97 October 1st this year.
And for Mary Parks, many of those years were spent right here at 10 Harlow Place on Buffalo's east side. Now, just a memory.
You don't pick and choose the way we leave here. A fire? No, I wouldn't have never dreamt that my mother would have passed away in a fire.
Parks was a mother of 10 and a mother figure to many more. Her daughter, also named Mary Parks, lives right across the street. Her sister lives 2 doors down.
I'm on Purdy. She's on Harlow, a little one-way street. My house faces hers. Just the fact of knowing that my mother's house existed right there, that's a hard thing, because I've been coming out of this house for 30-some years, and the first place my eyes go is over there.
But today, she didn't want to go outside as a bulldozer went through what's left of her childhood home.
When they think of Harlow Place and think of Mrs. Parks, she's the matriarch of that street.
Parks' late husband, Joseph, was a bricklayer. He built the home where the family lived for decades.
This is my mom and my dad. And I will always keep this picture and them close to my heart.
Parks worked at the Ford stamping plant until her early 70s, and even in her retirement years, she kept busy as a welcoming face in her community and at Calvary Baptist Church nearby.
God has taken my mother to a better place. I love my mother. She was a strong woman, too.
And tonight, investigators say the fire was accidental. Now the family is still working out funeral arrangements this evening. Live in the studio tonight, Nikki DeBentry, 7 Eyewitness News.
All right, thanks, Nikki. A former Cheektowaga substitute school teacher and coach now admitting that he preyed on his own students on social media. A federal grand jury returned an 18-count indictment against 33-year-old Stephen Jazorek. Today, prosecutors believe that he has a long list of victims, all from here in Western New York. 7 Eyewitness News senior reporter Eileen Buckley here tonight with new information on this case.
Well, Keith and Ashley, the indictment accuses Jazorek with production and receipt of child pornography and enticement of a minor. Now, we first learned about the investigation against Jazorek in April. That's when prosecutors revealed he posed as a teenage girl from California on social media to encourage underage boys to send him pornographic images. It stemmed from a criminal complaint operating in Virginia, where a 14-year-old boy reported he was communicating on his Instagram account with someone called Lexigirl 1015 and sent pornographic images of himself at the urging of the user. The account was traced back to Jazorek in Sloan. Tonight, the U.S. Attorney's Office has confirmed to 7 Eyewitness News that Jazorek has admitted to preying on his own students. He was a coach and substitute teacher in the Cheektowaga Sloan district until the district cut ties with him. Prosecutors say they expect the list of victims to grow by a large amount, but they're not commenting any further at this time. Now, anyone who may have information related to this case is urged to call the FBI at 843-1616. Eileen Buckley, 7 Eyewitness News.
Thank you, Eileen. New York State Police are honoring their fallen brothers and sisters. Troopers held their annual ceremony this morning at the Troop A headquarters in Batavia. Authorities from law enforcement agencies all over Western New York were in attendance to remember those who paid the ultimate price while protecting their communities.
We take oaths when we become a police officer, and we swear to protect and defend people, to be the voice of victims. At times, due to our profession, it's inherently dangerous, and when unfortunately we lose a member, the only justice we can do for that member is to continue their memory, to remember them, to honor their legacy by having memorials such as this.
Earlier this month in Albany, the names of more than 60 law enforcement officers were added to the New York State Memorial honoring fallen officers.
Well, after that rough winter we all went through here in Western New York, there are still a lot of potholes out there in need of patching. But now, all of this soggy weather this spring is slowing down road work.
As 7 Eyewitness News reporter Al Araby tells us, the constant wet weather has towns rethinking their spring road map.
It's been a less than favorable spring season so far.
The rain has really affected a lot of our work.
Cold and soggy conditions are making it difficult for road construction workers to do their job. So, change of plans, they're pushing back paving, which usually gets priority, and are working on stormwater drainage projects.
With last summer's rainfall that we received, this is an area that was flooded. So in April, when we were getting hit with all the rain and everything, we started the construction on Dubonnet and Borey. We put two 30-inch pipes down each of these streets, and then Dubonnet they're tapped into. So that will take a lot of water off the roads and not go into the houses.
Cheektowaga Highway Superintendent Mark Wegner says the change to spring road construction plans is to try and accommodate Mother Nature and to stay on track with their annual infrastructure plan.
We're moving every day. We go, whether it's rain or snow, we're working.
Wegner says his crews are working with the general contractor and already completed the stormwater drainage portion of the project on Viola Creekside and the southern central area. In Cheektowaga, Ala Arabi, 7 Eyewitness News.
Up next at 6, from Pennsylvania to Long Island, Roswell Park Cancer Center is expanding.
And these blue skies are going to stick around for a while, and we're about to warm things up. I'll have your 7 First Alert forecast.
But first, the minimum wage hike, a new report on its impact and how it's affecting your wallet. I'm Madison Carter. I'll have that story when 7 Eyewitness News continues.